is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle. Today I've got another never used match. This one is against Wit Ninja from Twitter. So I'm rocking the same team just because it's pretty fun to use, and this turned out to be a really close match. So looking at my opponent's team, I do notice that he has some threats like the Cresselia. He's got a Blastoise. Chinchino honestly is kind of a threat to my team, but overall solid matchup, and let's go ahead and just hop into it. So I'm going to be leading off with my Cradildo as per usual, as she sends out the Florges, which I don't know why she decided to lead off with that, but I kind of want to get a Toxic off on this thing, but then I realize it's probably got Aromatherapy, but all I know is it's kind of going to be a pain in the ass to take care of. So I'm actually thinking that the Florges is going to want to Toxic my Cradilly, and I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to actually switch out into my Weezing, as she actually ends up switching into the Levany. So we got a nice little double switch going on the first turn, and this is not too bad of a matchup for me. I like, throwing Sludge Bombs at grass types, but she actually ends up going for the Magic Coat here, which is actually a very good idea because I was trying to go for the Will-O-Wisp, goes ahead and bounces that right back at me, and I'm like, well shit, I just got right there. So that kind of sucks, although Weezing doesn't really care all that much about being burned. It still is kind of unfortunate. I'm expecting this thing to probably want to set up Sticky Web, which is kind of annoying, as I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp a second time here, and I actually miss. So Will-O-Wisp is just not on my side today. That really kind of sucks. I fucked around and burned myself, and I couldn't even land a second one. So that's kind of annoying. Here, I decided to just go for the Sludge Bomb just to kind of play it safe. I don't have a Rapid Spinner or anything to get rid of that Sticky Web, so that's really annoying, as she's going to switch into the Cress. And ladies and gentlemen, we live in a day and age where Cresselia is in the NU tier, so I thought that was pretty wild. I mean, it does get fucked up by like knockoff and stuff, so I mean it makes sense, I guess, but still, this thing is just annoying as hell. So I want to get the hell out of here. I don't really have anything to hit it with. I don't want it to start setting up, so I decided to switch into my Yanmega, as she's gonna go for the Reflect. So that's good for me. Luckily, it wasn't a Light Screen, and Specs Yanmega still to this day is kicking ass and really just honestly taking names. It hits so fucking hard. Check this out. Brings out the Florges. This thing, you know how specially defensive Florges is. I'm guessing it probably doesn't have special defense investment, but check that out. It does over half with a not very effective damage, and I get the special defense drop. So one more will be able to kill it. I'm just going to go ahead and click Bug Buzz yet again, as she ends up switching into the Levany. I'm guessing this was just because she wanted to sack something off and then be able to get a matchup. It is Focus Sashed. I really wish I would have gone for Stealth Rock on that first turn. Would have been pretty helpful, but she's going to go for Leaf Storm. I'm guessing that's probably the only attacking move that Levany has, so it's obviously not going to hurt me. I resist the fuck out of that. And one more Bug Buzz is going to take care of that thing, but I guess it kind of did its job. It got the freaking Sticky Web up, and of course I get the critical hit the time it was a 1 HP, but so yeah, now she's gonna switch into the Chinchino, and these things, I've been running into these motherfuckers a lot, and they're adorable, and they're fucking scary, unless you have like a Steelix on your team. I do not this time, so I gotta switch into my physical wall, which is my Weezing, as she's gonna go for the Tail Slap. And that does kind of hurt quite a bit. It's going to hit 5 times. Obviously, skill link as fuck. But unfortunately for me, it's looking like I'm not going to be able to take another one unless that was like max damage. After the leftover recovery and then the burn damage, I'm probably not going to be able to take another one. But to my surprise, they actually end up switching out here, as I believe I just go for, I think I go for the Will-O-Wisp here, trying to get it on the Chinchino, but freaking Moonface comes out here, and I actually do land a Will-O-Wisp, so that's pretty cool. So she decides to switch. I'm not really honestly all that sure why, but I'm not complaining. So Disco Balls is still alive, looking pretty damn awesome, all shiny with my purple ass smoke. Jimi Hendrix out here. So yeah, so I don't know what this thing wants to do. I'm assuming it probably just wants to go for some Calm Minds. That would be no bueno, so I decided to switch here right into my Meganium. I'm going to be able to hit it really hard with Bug Buzz, plus it's not going to be able to do anything to me, as it ends up actually just going for the Light Screen, which I guess I probably should have seen coming. It does have the Light Clay item, and the Light Screen is going to stick around for a while, which does suck for Meganium because I'm not going to be able to hit as hard with my Bug Buzz. So she actually ends up staying in here and goes for the Moonblast. It's not even going to knock me to half, which is awesome, as I'm going to go for a Bug Buzz. Even with the Light Screen up, it's going to do a solid amount of damage there, and after the burn, I know I can take another Moonblast from this. I'm honestly just pretty stoked that she didn't set up Stealth Rock this match. Yanmega does not have fun with that, but so she actually ends up going for the Lunar Dance here, which is a very nice play that is going to take out the Cress, as I'm going to Bug Buzz the air, and that is going to allow her to bring back in the Florges, which will go back to full health due to the Lunar Dance. So that's pretty awesome. Bringing in this stupid flower motherfucker, goes ahead and gets cloaked in some mythical Moonlight. And that is a full health Florges right there. So the Light Screen's still up. I don't want to risk losing Meganium. Why do I always call that thing fucking Meganium? I feel like I've probably done that, not noticed. Named Meg. I think I have a Meganium named Meg also. I don't know, man, shit gets confusing, but either way, this thing is going to go for some Calm Mines, and that is not the sight I wanted to see because this thing can be very annoying. It's already bulky as hell, and I got to figure out a plan for this thing. So it goes for another Calm Mine, that's +2, and I'm like, well, I'm going to throw a Toxic at this thing and just hope that this set doesn't have Aromatherapy. If it does, I'm honestly going to be kind of screwed, but it is going to at least have to waste a turn if he does want to get rid of this Toxic, so I go for that. I do get the poison off on that thing. It makes me feel a little bit better about it, but honestly still, this Florges is going to be a pain right in my dick. So gets hurt by a little bit of poison, and Cradilly, I don't really have anything to go for. This thing can just literally stay in here and just keep going for Calm Mind, so I decide to switch into Disco Balls, expecting an attack here, as she does go for the Moonblast, which is perfect. I kind of wanted Weezing to die, that way I could bring in something for free. After checking it out, I have a Sneasel that is pretty fucking quick, and even after the reduced speed from the sticky web, I should be faster. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring in Bless You, as I want to really try to hit this thing with an Icicle Crash. I know that it's not going to be able to actually knock this thing out, but my plan was to be able to knock it down to the point where I could kill it later. But I missed the fucking Icicle Crash, which seems to happen way too often, and that's quite annoying because that allows it to go for a Moonblast, and down goes my Sneasel. So you didn't do anything, Sneasel, you pink piece of shit. What the fuck? But that's okay, because, well, actually, it's not okay. I should have just gone for Ice Shard. Just getting any amount of damage would have allowed it to die to an Earthquake from my Flygon. So all I can really do here is go into Flygon, hope this thing isn't max defense. I go for the Earthquake, and unfortunately for me, it actually ends up leaving it with red HP, so that sucks. That's going to allow it to throw the Moon at me, and that's a dead Flygon, which was looking extremely useful against the Chinchino and like the Arbok and the other stuff that that she's got. So that really kind of sucks. Although the good news is the floor just finally freaking goes down and the light screen wears off, so you know, that's kind of good news. And I wasn't really sure what to throw out at this point, so I just decided to go into Cradilly here as she goes into Chinchino. And looking at it, I feel like I could be able to live at least 2 attacks from this thing, which is fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and just test it out here as it goes for the Bullet Seed, kind of, you know, sends it out its penis and just hits me right in the Cradildos. But after 5 hits, it's looking like after leftovers, I should be able to take one more. So my plan here, I went for the Toxic after this shit happens 5 times. Super annoying Steel Link. But I go for the Toxic. Luckily, don't miss. And that's actually perfect because after the leftovers, it's looking like I can go for a Recover after one more attack. And then I can kind of stall this thing out with the Toxic. And that is pretty much my plan at this point. Luckily, Cradilly is barely able to take 2 of those Bullet Seeds. So it goes for it again. It's going to hit 5 friggin' times. Uno. Dos. It's like I'm sitting here like, hurry the fuck up. I just want to see if I can live this. I think if it gets max damage, I actually would faint to it. But it's looking like after one more hit, I live it barely with like 8 HP, which is fantastic. That allows me to go for a Recover. It's going to set me above half. And then after the leftovers, I can live another one comfortably. So that is freaking sweet. And I know that since the Toxic is kind of just taking its toll, she's probably going to expect me to just stay in and go for another Recover, which would be the good play if this Chinchino decides to stay in. But I'm expecting a switch into the Arbok here, and I'm going to actually double switch myself as I make the prediction correct, and the Arbok does come out, intimidates Cradilly, but Cradilly ain't afraid of shit, especially Gold Snakes. But I decide to go into 50% Shark, which is awesome because even with the Sticky Web, I will be able to get some speed boost due to my abilities. So I actually went for the Protect on the first turn, as she's going to end up switching into the Blastoise. It's honestly kind of funny seeing Blastoise not being a Mega. You're just so used to seeing Mega Blastoise. But this dude's just got his little cannons out here. I'm going to go for a Dark Pulse. I know I can probably live any attack from this thing, but check this shit out. Just less than half, but I get the flinch. And I was like, oh my god, that was amazing. So I got 1 flinch there. I'm pretty stoked about that. Obviously another Dark Pulse won't be able to take this thing out, but I'm feeling pretty confident in that I won't go down to a single attack from this thing. So I'm going to go for another Dark Pulse here, as she's just going to go right back into Arbok. I really like using specially attacking Sharpedo. This thing is pretty freaking sweet. Doesn't care about Intimidate, obviously. Go for another Dark Pulse. It is a 2-hit KO on the Arbok. And with all these speed boosts, I will be faster, but I don't really know what this thing wants to go for. I figure there must have been a reason as to why she would send it in kind of randomly like that. So I actually just go for the Protect just to kind of scout out what she's going to go for. Turns out it goes for Sucker Punch, which really wouldn't have hurt me too bad, but it would have kind of like, you know, slowed down Sharpedo a little bit. Life Orb damage is going to rack up and stuff like that. But I get another speed boost, and I'm like, well, I don't really have any other choice at this point. I just decided to go for the Dark Pulse, and the Arbok didn't go for the Sucker Punch, which I was kind of wondering maybe she predicted something else, but I don't know. But either way, I'm getting some more speed, and I'm fast as fuck. I may only be half a shark, but what I lack in a tail, I make up for in fucking speed and attack. So in comes the Blastoise again, and check this shit out. I go for the Dark Pulse. and I flinch it again. I was like, what the fuck is going on? How is this happening to me? RNGesus smiled upon me today or something. I don't know. I don't remember the last time I got 2 flinches in a row with Dark Pulse, but that is pretty insane, and I feel really bad because Sharpedo probably would have gone down at that point, but it definitely would have changed the match there. But I guess hacks happens, and I mean, it was rather fair this match, but those two flinches really just were pretty lame. But anyway, now all she can do is go into the Chinchino here. Last Pokemon, I'm obviously going to outspeed because all these speed boosts. I go for the Dark Pulse. Doesn't actually end up knocking it out. It leaves it with like 2 HP. That is going to allow it to go for a Bullet Seed, but unfortunately, it is going to go down to its Poison. So it does kill Sharpedo. Sharpedo goes down, but I do still have my Yanmega and my Cradilly. So it would have been those dudes against Blastoise and Chinchino had the flinches not happened or whatever. But either way, I thought that was a pretty damn good match. It kind of came down right down to the wire, and that was a pretty interesting one. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Go ahead and hit that like button on this video if you did enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe for some more Wi-Fi battles as per usual. Peace out, guys.